You're walking.
First time that I really remember hearing the word leukemia was when I was in the 4th grade. My 4th grade teacher, Mrs. Doherty, read the book Sadako and the Paper Cranes to our class. Moral behind that story was that if you had leukemia and you folded, I think it was 1,000 paper cranes, you would go into remission. It was about 6 months later. I was kind of bruising a lot and was really fatigued and out of breath. And so the next day we were in Children's doing a bone marrow biopsy, and Dr. Sish came in and he said, well, Lyndsey, I have good news and I have bad news. And he said, well, it's 1994. And I said, okay. And he said, the bad news is you have acute lymphocytic leukemia. Started chemo practically the very next day. So I was 3 years of radiation, chemotherapy, all the good stuff that comes along with battling cancer, and that was the new normal after that. My friends and family folded over 3,000 paper cranes. It symbolizes hope. Part of my mission and my fight to find a cure and to stop this is that I feel very fortunate and very lucky to have survived, but it shouldn't be about luck. It should be a given, it should be a guarantee. Kids are going through the same thing that I went through in 1994. The radiation, the chemo, the losing hair, the missing school, the struggles that young kids go through, we haven't done enough.
My pregnancy with twins was a little difficult and I was on bed rest. They were born May 1st and they spent 30 days in the NICU. When we were home is when we started noticing spots. We finally went to a dermatologist and she biopsied one on Kendall's head. Our pediatrician called us and said that the preliminary results were cancer. As far as treatment goes, what stands out the most to me is that whether it's an adult or a child with AML, you get the same drugs. There's no child-specific drugs. In those 129 days, both the girls received their lifetime maximum dose of one of the drugs. So even at relapse, you can never get that drug again.
AML specifically, there's been essentially no change in 40 years in the treatment and the drugs that they use. That's one of the most extremely frustrating things.
You don't pick to have cancer or to not have cancer. It just happens, and you never know who it's going to happen to or when it's going to happen. Like, your life changes in a second.
We took our first family vacation a year after they were released from treatment, and a week later is when we found out Kendall had relapsed. I think finding out relapse was way worse than finding out about cancer. We had a meeting with the team and they said transplant didn't work, the cancer was just coming back faster than anything else was, and that there was nothing else that we could do at that point. We checked back into the hospital. There were 2 nights, and she died on September 7th. Kendall was known for loveys in transplant. One of my friends sews these amazing bears. All this fabric is a bunch of her favorite outfits, and we've started calling them Kendall Bears. So this is our family Kendall Bear, and she's in all of our family pictures going forward. And then each of the kids have one, too.
I miss Kendall.
The friends and family that I have met through the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society have been instrumental, I think, in me continuing to understand that we need to keep fighting, we need to find cures, we need to raise money, we need to help those who are going through it now, those who have gone through it in the past, and those who will go through it tomorrow. Kendall and Kennedy should not have gone through it. Kennedy shouldn't have to go through life without her twin sister. Like, it's just not fair.
We need awareness, because awareness creates funds, which create research.
Cancer stops with me.
One thing that has really amazed me is the community and the culture that we have here in Minnesota. In 2014, I raised $65,000. I think the winner that year did about 66. So it really does resonate to the fact that one person can do a lot. We have an amazing community, and I think that together we can take a stand, we can join the fight, we can raise the money, and we can say that cancer stops with me.